The issue with smoking is that it feels amazing. Saying that might seem irresponsible, but if we are to discuss it, we should be honest. Smoking creates a temporary problem and offers an immediate solution. Once your brain is accustomed to nicotine, you will feel itchy, anxious, and tense for up to 72 hours. But just one puff, and you will instantly feel really good. But smoking isn't just a physical addiction. It's like a magical focus booster at work, and the perfect excuse for taking regular breaks, which is great for your mental health. It's a boredom buster, appetite suppressor, and it turns bad moments into not so bad ones and good moments into even better ones. Smoking is like the ultimate social event, like a secret club where everyone instantly becomes friends. Smokers always huddle together and it's a blast. Plus, your lips are super sensitive, so putting something between them is oddly satisfying. So, now that we've given smoking a fair intro, let's light up a cigarette together to see why it feels so good and what's actually going on inside your body when you do it. The best, worst thing. A cigarette is like a gourmet dish made from dried tobacco leaves mixed with special spices that help it burn slowly. This allows you to savor the nicotine and flavors that make the smoke less harsh. Let's light it up. Cigarette smoke is 95% gases like carbon dioxide and water vapor. The remaining 5% is the secret sauce, particles called tar, filled with a delightful mix of carbon or nitrogen compounds and, of course, nicotine. As you take a puff, billions of tiny party crashers rush in, mingling with everything they pass. They get stuck on your throat, tongue, and trachea like confetti at a wild celebration. Your lungs, those big inflatable sponges, have their own bouncers, cilia cells with hair-like extensions covered in a layer of mucus. These bouncers trap dust and bacteria, sweeping them away in a dance-off to keep your lungs clean. Tar particles crash the party and land in the mucus, transforming into a sticky brown gunk that halts the dance and paralyzes the cilia, our trusty bouncers. This lets the tar sneak deeper into your lungs, all the way to the alveoli. Alveoli are like tiny air sacs where the real magic of breathing happens. They've got super thin walls so oxygen can slip into your blood and carbon dioxide can make a quick escape. It's like a sci-fi adventure inside your body. Now the magic happens. Nicotine zips through the thin walls and dives into your bloodstream, reaching your brain so fast it's like hitting warp speed. The good vibes kick in almost instantly. If your brain were a control board, smoking would be like mashing all the buttons at once, flooding your system with transmitters and hormones that light up your whole body like a crazy video game. Epinephrine and cortisol team up like a superhero duo, making your heart race and getting your body ready for action. Dopamine swoops in to make you feel happy and relaxed, while also curbing your appetite. Beta endorphins join the party to zap away pain and stress. Nicotine is the quirky character that both excites and calms you at the same time. You become more alert and focused, Your nerves get super sensitive to pleasant sensations, and then your whole body kicks back and relaxes. It's like an action-packed superhero movie inside your body. All these effects together make you feel awesome. But then your brain, like a strict party pooper, tries to restore order and counteract the nicotine. Everything's fine as long as you've got nicotine in your blood. But once it wears off, it's like your body is left with a huge hangover, overcompensating and creating a massive imbalance. It's like the morning after a wild party, and your body's left cleaning up the mess. Imagine explaining what happens when nicotine's effects wear off like a comedy sketch. The more you smoke, the harder your body fights back, like it's on a dramatic reality show. That's why nicotine hooks you so easily. You stop feeling like yourself without it. Sure, smoking feels great, but soon you need it just to feel normal. If that was all smoking did, it wouldn't be so bad. But nicotine doesn't come alone. It brings along thousands of different chemical buddies, turning your body into a never-ending party you can't leave. Imagine explaining the harmful chemicals in smoking like a bizarre infomercial. Meet the gang: cadmium, lead, arsenic, and cyanide, plus our special guests, hydrogen peroxide and nitrogen oxides, causing chaos wherever they go. Carbon monoxide's job? Reducing how much oxygen your blood can carry. Over in your lungs, your cilia cells are struggling like overworked janitors. They can't keep up with the mucus clogged with tar, and some of them just give up and die. It's like a wild infomercial gone wrong, featuring the worst cast of characters. Imagine explaining what happens in your lungs like a slapstick comedy scene. Your alveoli are like delicate little balloons that just can't handle all this stress. A few of them pop like overfilled party balloons, causing some serious damage. Your body hits panic mode and tries to get rid of all this tar ASAP. Goblet cells go into overdrive, pumping out extra mucus, making it harder to breathe. So you start coughing like a comedy character trying to clear the stage. Meanwhile, your immune system activates its cleanup crew, the macrophages, which start gobbling up tar particles like a snack attack gone wild. Imagine explaining the effects of smoking on lungs like a comedic horror story. Smokers have a whole army of cleanup cells in their lungs because their lungs are basically dirt central. But here's the kicker. Nicotine turns these macrophages into lazy, sluggish slackers. Even worse, these guys occasionally puke up chemicals that dissolve your lung tissue, creating tiny wounds that turn into scar tissue. And, spoiler alert, scars in your lungs are really bad if you're a fan of, breathing. Imagine explaining what nicotine does to your body like a chaotic traffic report. Nicotine's like a hyperactive traffic cop, speeding up your heart rate while telling blood vessels all over your body to tighten up. Meanwhile, toxic chemicals are causing pileups everywhere, creating tiny wounds that turn into scars. Those scars start leaking proteins, creating random blood clots that make your blood vessels even narrower. It's like a never-ending traffic jam inside your body with chaos at every turn. Imagine explaining the effects of smoking on the body like a humorous sports commentary. Ladies and gentlemen, constricted and narrow blood vessels are putting your heart muscle through an intense workout, forcing it to pump much harder to keep the blood flowing. Meanwhile, inside your skin, the chemicals are unleashing enzymes that break down collagen, the protein that keeps your skin elastic and smooth. The result? Folds, wrinkles, and premature aging. You start looking older before your time, but the worst play of the game is what happens to your immune system. It's like your body goes into full defense mode, reacting to tiny wounds and fighting an invisible enemy, causing collateral damage to healthy cells. It's a chaotic match with no clear winner. Imagine explaining the long-term effects of smoking like a dramatic soap opera. Meanwhile, nicotine's making your immune system slow and sluggish, like the lazy character in a soap opera, terrible at fighting real diseases. We could keep this drama going, but it's getting old. In a nutshell, every single one of your organs is under high stress and suffers some kind of permanent damage. Over time, fats get stuck in the scars inside your blood vessels, which get narrower and narrower until they start to suffocate your organs. It's like a tragic plot twist in a never-ending soap opera where everything just keeps getting worse. Imagine explaining the effects of smoking on the heart like a chaotic office scenario. Picture your heart as an overworked office worker, furiously pumping blood through a maze of tiny crowded hallways. It's working so hard that fluids start leaking out of the blood vessels into your lungs, making it even harder to breathe, like trying to finish your reports in a flooded office. Meanwhile, the risk of a rogue blood clot blocking a critical passageway in your body skyrockets, potentially leading to the ultimate office disaster, a heart attack or a stroke. It's like an office gone wild with chaos at every turn. Imagine explaining the inevitable health issues for smokers like a darkly comedic medical show. Almost all smokers eventually end up with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. It's like a twisted medical drama where so many of your alveoli are permanently destroyed that you're always short of breath, never able to breathe freely again. Once you have it, it's a one-way ticket downhill, no turning back. And then there's the grand finale, cancer. It's like a double whammy plot twist that nobody wants, but everyone sees coming. Imagine explaining the risks of smoking like a ridiculous game show. Welcome to the most dangerous game show ever. On one side, you get to flood your whole system, especially your lungs, with at least 70 highly cancer-causing chemicals, and on the other side, you paralyze the part of your immune system that's supposed to kill and prevent cancer. This double whammy is why smokers are prime candidates for cancer. Ultimately, smoking is like playing the most hazardous game you can legally play. Congratulations, you won! A lifetime of health issues. Imagine explaining the risks of smoking like a stand-up comedy routine. Did you know the average smoker loses 10 years of life? Yep, some unlucky folks lose just 5 years while others hit the jackpot and lose up to 25. And the best part? you have no idea which one you'll be. But here's the kicker. It's not just about living shorter. It's about spending a big chunk of your life being chronically sick. Ooh, that's a buzzkill. So why don't smokers just, stop? People think smokers are unhinged or lack discipline, but that's totally unfair. It's like blaming someone for getting addicted to the world's most addictive TV show. Just stop watching. Sure, easier said than done, right? Imagine explaining nicotine addiction like a comedy sketch about a clingy ex. Nicotine is like the clingiest ex you'll ever have. It's one of the most physically and psychologically addictive substances known to humanity. Once you start using it, breaking up is hard to do. You'll probably struggle with it for the rest of your life. The physical addiction is like a 3-day fling. But the psychological addiction? Oh boy, that's the one that sticks around like a bad love song. It's because you form strong habits, and it's tied to all those social moments, like hanging out with friends or winding down from work. Nicotine is that ex who shows up everywhere. Imagine explaining the tobacco industry's tactics like a satirical infomercial. The twisted part is that almost everyone who starts smoking picks up the habit as a teenager. That's right, folks. The tobacco industry knows they have to reel in those vulnerable young brains and get them hooked on the delightful effects of nicotine, or they go out of business. So today, about 1 billion people will light up a cigarette. Yeah, it's a staggering number, but hey, at least the trends are looking up. So act now before everyone wises up and this amazing product loses its grip. Imagine explaining the smoking statistics like a wacky news anchor. Breaking news. In the year 2000, a whopping 34% of adults were puffing away, but by 2020, that number dropped to 23%. Yay, progress. But hold on, in 2023, smoking still managed to claim about 8 million lives. Yikes! But don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. There are plenty of successful quitting strategies out there, and we've put links to some in the video description below. Fun fact, people who kick the habit by age 35 generally don't die any earlier than non-smokers. So, there's hope. Stay tuned for more uplifting news after the break. Imagine explaining the benefits of quitting smoking like a playful public service announcement. Guess what? Even if you're past the prime quitting age, kicking the habit can still add years to your life. It's like climate change. Every little bit helps, even if some damage has already been done. Now, we're not here to play the role of the morality or health police. You do you. But at least be aware of what you're doing and why. For those of you watching who don't smoke, well, maybe just keep it that way and never start. Remember, friends don't let friends light up. Yes, smoking might feel like your trusty sidekick, but trust us, it's time to give that sidekick a pink slip. Let's explore some fun and effective ways to kick the habit and reclaim your health, one chuckle at a time. The distraction dance. Feeling the urge to smoke? Time to bust out your best dance moves. Put on your favorite song and dance like no one's watching. Not only will you forget about smoking, but you'll also get a mini workout. Double win. Snack attack. Replace that cigarette with a healthy snack. Carrot sticks, apple slices, or nuts are great choices. Keep your hands and mouth busy without lighting up. Bonus points if you pretend you're a fancy chef while preparing them. The Chew Crew. Gum and mints are your new best friends. Chewing gum gives your mouth something to do, and fresh breath is a nice bonus. Pro tip: always have a pack on hand to fight those cravings. Buddy system. Quitting is easier with a friend. Find a buddy who's also trying to quit and keep each other accountable. When one of you feels like slipping, the other can offer support or a friendly nudge. No smoker left behind. Mindfulness moments. Take a deep breath. No, not of smoke. Practice mindfulness and deep breathing exercises to calm your nerves. Close your eyes, inhale through your nose, hold it, and exhale slowly. It's like a spa day for your brain. Reward yourself. Set milestones and reward yourself for hitting them. Made it a day without smoking? Treat yourself to a movie night a week? How about a fancy dinner? Celebrating small victories makes the journey more fun. Hobbies over habits. Pick up a new hobby to keep your hands busy and your mind engaged. Whether it's knitting, painting, or playing an instrument, find something that sparks joy and keeps those cravings at bay. Support Squad. Don't be afraid to seek professional help. Therapists, support groups, and hotlines are there to help you succeed. Think of them as your personal cheerleading squad, rooting for you every step of the way. Tech savvy. Use apps designed to help you quit smoking. They can track your progress, offer tips, and remind you why you started this journey. Plus, it's super satisfying to see those smoke-free days add up. Health visuals. Sometimes a little perspective helps. Look up pictures of healthy lungs versus smokers' lungs. Or better yet, imagine your future self running a marathon, breathing freely, and feeling fantastic. That's the goal. So there you have it, folks. Quitting smoking doesn't have to be a drag. With these fun and effective strategies, you'll be well on your way to a healthier, smoke-free life. Remember, the only thing better than a good laugh is a good breath of fresh air. Happy quitting.